What's up, YouTube world? It's the instant classic Tyler Krochek here today to talk about something a little bit different, something that I don't normally talk about. So my wife had me sit down the other day and watch Lifetimes Surviving R.Kelly, and I've watched a few of those sort of things with her, and this is the first time something like this has really pissed me off and angered me. For several reasons. I mean, the fact that this guy has been doing it, gosh, like, let's say 20 years almost, who knows? For all we know, he was doing it way before the video. And let's backtrack a little bit. So, this whole R. Kelly thing, the only thing I kind of ever knew of or heard of was that he was in some sort of a sex video peeing on a girl, and that's all I knew. And I'm glad I never watched the tape, considering the chick in the video was underage. It was like 14, 12, whatever it was. The fact is, she was a little kid. And hearing these people's stories, what they went through, the horrific things, the fact that he's running a sex cult, and if these women, they have to call him daddy, and they have to call to go use the bathroom, to eat, and if they don't follow the rules, he beats them, he starves them, they're not allowed to talk to their families, not allowed to leave. I'm trying not to swear, it really pisses me off. And at the end of the show, all I could think is, how is this man walking the streets? How is he allowed to walk the streets? We live in a time of day now where you make a mistake, say it happens in the early 2000s or whenever, 90s, 80s, whatever, and it comes to light today, your career is pretty much done and buried. How is a guy like R. Kelly, who's had sex with underage little girls, allowed to be a free man walking the streets? That's the part that pisses me off, that I don't understand, that I can't, my head just doesn't wrap around. You know, and then one of the parts that really pissed me off in that whole video, that whole show, was they had one of the jurors from his trial, and one of his reasons or whatever why that he found him R. Kelly innocent was because the girl wanted it. She knew what she was asking for, the way she dressed, whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. I'm sorry. See, I cussed. It doesn't matter if you're white, you're black. It doesn't matter if you're whatever age it is. First off, this is an underage girl. It doesn't matter if she wanted it, knew what she was asking for, knew what she was getting into. She's having sex with a man who is, I don't know, what was he, 30s? Doesn't matter. If he's not underage, you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't have sex with a child. It's 2019, and I hope you go to jail, R. Kelly, and I hope that when you go to prison, this is what they should do. You go to prison. Let's give you 30 years in prison. I think you should get life. Personally, yeah. You know what? Let's give you life. Life in prison. Everything you own, any money you have, you take half that money and you give it to his kids, to R. Kelly's kids, his ex-wife. And the rest of that money, it goes into charities that help with victims out there who are going through this, who have gone through this, who need the financial support to go to counseling and for the trauma. I think that's where the money should go, and I believe that's where it should go. And I don't want R. Kelly going into prison and because he's a child rapist, getting fucking killed within the first couple weeks or months that he's there. No. Lock him up in a cell with a big guy who ain't gonna kill him, but he's gonna do what he did to all those kids all those years ago. That's what he's gonna do to R.Kelly. And let R.Kelly take it from some random big dude for the rest of his life in prison. Keep him on watch if you have to for 30, 40 years, however long, until he's an old man who can't even off himself. Just make sure he doesn't take his own life, because that's the coward's way. R.Kelly, yes, is a coward, but he deserves a lot of pain and suffering for what he's done to all these people's lives. So with that being said, I do think black girls' lives matter. I think all lives matter for that point. It doesn't matter if you're white, you're black, if you're underage, and a man or a woman sexually molests you or touch you or hurts you or harms you in any way possible, justice needs to and should always be done, regardless of where they came from. If they're rich, they're poor. So, I mean, as an American, I'm ashamed of the justice system for letting a guy like that walk the streets. That's all I gotta say on that.